Hey guys, Justin here. It's my second video breaking down UFC fights. I'm gonna go over the fight this past Saturday just happened. Nogueira versus Verdun. Wow, did not see that happening. I know in my first submission I said I picked Verdun's second round brutal TKO. Got the round right. Did not see an armbar verbal tap submission coming. Verdun looked awesome. Nog, like I said, he looked old. He looked slow. And he looks like he should be retired. You know, the guy's been in a lot of wars. He's done everything for MMA. You know, you gotta know when to call it a day, and I don't think he can compete with the top guys anymore. Maybe the low tier guys if he wants to keep fighting, but I don't see him reaching that level where he can see himself challenging for the title anymore. Verdum, on the other hand, looked awesome. Definitely now really looking forward to Kane JDS 3. See what Verdum get. See Verdum get the winner of that. Should be a really good fight, and who knows? We need someone up in that heavyweight division that can challenge Kane and Jr. And Verdum with that ground game, nasty. That guy's got. They say he has one of the best guards in the game, and you do not want to jump in that man's guard, and you do not want to be on the ground with that guy. Verdum showed, you know, Nas lost two of his last 4 fights. Submitted. Almost goes his entire career without being submitted, and 2 of his last 4 fights, mind you, against 2 of the probably best jiu-jitsu heavyweights in the world, in Frank Mir and Fabricio Verdum. So no loss now, but I did not see Nog getting tapped out this fight. I thought he'd get knocked out, but I did not see a tap out. So great job by Fabricio. Looks awesome. Continues his run now. I believe that's 4 in a row. Good job. Definitely can't wait to see him challenge for the title. I think he's there. You know, he looked awesome against Roy Nelson. He looked awesome against Russo. And now Nog. So there you go. Just 3 fights. Forgot the fight before that was the loss to Overeem, which was nothing impressive in either man's part. So again, great job for Fabricio. Big Nog, love you. Thank you. But I think it's time to call it a day, man. You've been in wars. You've given us great highlights. You won the interim heavyweight championship. You know, you're the Pride heavyweight champion. You know, you've done your country proud. You fought in Brazil now twice, something you said you wanted to do. I think now you call it a day. Okay, gonna start my breakdown of UFC 161 this Saturday in the PEG, right here in Canada. Rashad Evans and Dan Henderson. It's gonna be a good fight. I was gonna say it's gonna be a pick'em fight, but I don't think it's really a pick'em fight. I think if you take each other's styles, there's a clear-cut winner here, and I have it as Rashad. And I am a Rashad Evans fan, so this might sound biased, but I'm also a Dan Henderson fan, and I do like the old school guys better than the new school guys. But I think Henderson, you know, 40-something years old, great in the first 2 rounds. Can he really sustain that pressure in the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th? Shogun kind of showed in the 4th and 5th. You pressure him, he'll wilt. So I have Rashad, you know. Rashad looked brutal in his last fight against Little Nog. He looked lethargic, really much. Like that pitter patter. I don't know what he was doing. I know he was trying to find his distance to throw hands, but every time it just wasn't there. He just was not swinging that night. He threw a couple of good body kicks. So if you want to take something good from that fight for Rashad, he threw a couple of good body kicks. Maybe he knew Little Nog was a better boxer than him, but that's what the takedowns are for, and he didn't use them at all. There's times Little Nog was standing right in front of him and he could have shot and he didn't shoot. Just couldn't pull the trigger. Same thing in the Jones fight. He said it himself. I saw every opportunity, and every time I saw it, the hand was not going that night. Henderson didn't look bad against Machida, but didn't look great. And I don't know if it was the layoff for the knee injury, but like I say, he's only fought twice in the last 2.5 years, I think. and it was against Shogun and now Machida. And the Shogun, he looked awesome in the early rounds, but faded in the fourth and fifth. Mind you, he probably should have put away Shogun. Some of those shots would have put away a lesser man, but Shogun withstood them. But Machida, that's Machida's game plan, man. He makes it hard on you to fight him. You gotta find a way to cut off his ankles, corner him, and come at him and connect. And if you don't, you're swinging a air all day long, all night long in the cage, and that's exactly what Henderson was doing. Then again, Machida didn't look that effective. Henderson stayed on the outside a lot of times, and Machida didn't really land a lot of anything good at all. So that was a really boring fight. And like I said, I believe I don't really count that as a loss for Henderson. I don't really count it as a win for Machida. You know, yeah, the scorecard's going to say that, and it's going to be on your record, but it was a really chasing fight, and Machida didn't engage, Henderson didn't engage. So, because of it, I really see John Jones now actually, Machida not getting the title shot he was promised from that. And I really see it going to Gustafsson. Especially I believe Machida took the fight with Phil Davis. So, yeah, I see those fights. Yeah, I don't see. Sorry, I'm going off here. Let's go off that topic. So breaking down this fight, Rashad and Dan Henderson. Like I said, I have Rashad winning this fight. I think he's going to win a 5 round unanimous decision. What he's going to have to do is he's going to have to use his speed. He's going to have to mix up his takedowns with his striking. He's going to have to engage. He's not going to be able to play that pitter-patter game. Because if he stands there and plays that game with Dan, I bet my dollar on it that Henderson will land first. Because as soon as Henderson will find his range before Rashad does, if that's the case. Rashad's not going to be the aggressor. Of course, Henderson's going to be the one coming forward. That's how Henderson fights. Comes right at you. Balls blazing, man. He comes right at you. Guns blazing. Those right hands cocked and loaded and ready to go. So Rashad, of course, can be on the outside. It's going to be circling probably the entire time. Just use your speed. Use your angles. Mix up the takedowns. When they're there, take them. And I really see him just beat him up for 5 rounds if he can get him down. Rashad takes him down. He's going to get on top. I see him ground and pounding for 5 rounds to a unanimous decision. Henderson's looked amazing lately, but a lot of those fights were against guys that suited to his style. They weren't better wrestlers than him, so they weren't going to try to take Dan down. They were okay strikers, but they weren't going to hit hard enough to really rock Dan. So Dan was not afraid to walk in there and take a shot to give a shot. The only guy that looked impressive against Dan was down to 185, which Dan doesn't want to make that cut anymore, was Jake Shields. And Jake Shields got on top, got hit early on in the fight, recovered, took Dan Henderson down, and just ground and pounded him for 5 rounds. Mounted him, I think, for 3 full rounds straight, but couldn't finish him. So I know Dan came out and said he had to have surgery on his back after that. That's also one reason he doesn't want to cut weight anymore, so he stays up in the higher weights. But yeah, I see Rashad being able to do the same thing. I just see him being able to get inside, take him down, ground and pound for 5 rounds to a unanimous decision. And then I see him actually dropping down to 185. I think 205 is changing the guard to 205. A lot of big guys up there now, and a lot of strong guys, a lot of tall guys, lengthy guys, Gustafsson, Jones. So I think Rashad needs to change the scenery. He's fought all the top guys at 205. I don't see him getting another title shot anytime soon. I think a drop down from 185 would be great. I'd love to see him against guys like a rematch with Michael Bisping at 185 would be interesting. Love to see him fight Vitor Belfort. I know they're teammates in Black Stallion, so maybe that fight wouldn't happen. Or maybe it would, though. But I'd really like to see him drop down to 185 after this fight. Hopefully it's a win, not a loss, because then it's going to look really bad. He's not going to be in title contention. At least a win. He can drop down, get another fight, get another win, and possibly that puts him right in title contention. Puts him somewhere in that title mix. So I have Rashad Evans again, like I said, winning this fight 5 rounds, unanimous decision. Second fight, Steve Miocic versus Roy Nelson. Roy's coming off three or four straight knockouts in the first round. Just knocked out Congo, I think 6 weeks ago. Not even. And he just got this fight and took it. I think it's because it's the last one in his contract, so they're just trying to get it done before they can renegotiate another contract. Steve, coming off a loss to Joey Beltran. No, sorry, that's not him. No, that was Igor. I'm not sure if Steve came off the loss to his last fight. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. No, I don't know. That's all right. I see Roy Nelson knocking me out in the first round. Anyways, I just think Nelson right now he's starting to find his game. He's starting to find confidence in the cage, and he's not afraid to stand with guys. And I think his chin, like I said, it's you're not gonna hurt the guy. You can bust him up, beat him up, make his face look completely deformed, but he's still gonna be in your face for those rest of the fight. So I don't think Steve's gonna be able to do that. I think Roy's gonna land brutal right hand again and knock him out late in the first round. And that'll be 4 or 5 in a row. And who knows what can be next for him there. I'm hoping Daniel Cormier. I think that'd be an awesome fight, especially if Roy wants to get that title shot. I think it'll be a great fight for him. Will be Daniel Cormier. I'm going to break down Tyrone Woodley and Jake Shields on the prelim card. I like Tyrone Woodley in this fight. Jake, I've never really been impressed with Jake Shields. I know the guy has wins. He has a good record. But I have not really been overly impressed with the guy. There's a couple of fights I would like to see him have rematches against because I think some guys could avenge loss. One being Martin Kateman and the other being Carlos Condit. I think they both could avenge those losses and get wins. But I really don't see Jake winning this fight. If he gets him down and submits him, and like if that Jake Shields comes back, the guy that can use his American Jiu-Jitsu, aka his wrestling and his Jiu-Jitsu, takes down and gets his arms because he's got a really good ground game. He's like his guillotine's got a really nice guillotine. His arm bars are really tight. He's good at taking the back. So if that Jake Shields comes back, awesome. Him and Damian Maia would be awesome at 170 on the ground. But Tyrone Woodley looked fantastic coming into that fight against Jay Heron. He was coming off the loss to Nate Marquardt for the Strikeforce title, and he just looked awesome. Just blazed through Heron. I was watching the fight. I stepped up just to go grab a drink. I came back and it was over. And it's like, whoa, Woodley, what did you do? And then I saw the replay and I was like, wow. Did not see, Heron's a veteran of the sport, old. I know he's old, but didn't see him being able to dismissed like that by Tyrone Woodley. Woodley looks awesome. He's fast, he's quick, flexible, athletic. It's going to be striking. It's just only getting better. I really see him challenging for the title in maybe a year, 2 years times, and that welterweight division's getting stacked up again. You have Woodley, you have Condit's still right there. Kampman, if he could just find a way to stop choking in those big fights. Every time he gets that close, he loses it. Hendricks, it's got the next shot at GSP. That welterweight division has just always been a stacked division, and it's just going to get better and better. Woodley, Maia's looking amazing. Maia's one guy a lot of people say would give GSP a problem because, GSP keeps it standing, but if you try to take Maia down, Maia wants to be on his back. Maia wants to be on top of you. So, and he looks big, and he's a big 170. So, that welterweight division is looking awesome. But like I said, I'm going to go back and say TKO's second round for Tyrone Woodley. Just think his striking is just going to be too much for Jake to handle. He might mix him to take Jake down. Jake actually has poor takedown defense, believe it or not. So if he takes Jake down, gets on top of him, just ground and pounds him. Really don't see Jake winning this fight. Could be wrong, but I see a second round TKO for Tyrone Woodley. And I'll just throw it out there. The rest of the card, not the rest of the card, but on the main card, Ryan Himo versus Igor Bakajic. I'm going to go with Himo by unanimous decision. Probably a stand-up war. And the other fight... No, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to break down the other ones. yeah, so that's my breakdown of UFC 161. Again, I have Rashad Evans, 5 rounds, unanimous decision over Dan Henderson. Roy Nelson, first round knockout of Steve Miocic. On the prelims, I have Tyrone Woodley, second round TKO over Jake Shields. And I have Ryan Himmel with a unanimous decision over Igor Pekarjic. So yeah, that's my second fight breakdown. Tell me what you guys think. I'm going to post this up. All criticism I'll take. I'm new at this. I'm just starting out. I love talking about fights. I love the UFC. I love breaking down fights. I'm sometimes biased towards the guys I like, but I'll try to throw in my analysis on what I think the other guy has to do to win a fight. And tell me if there's any fights you want me to break down. Just send me what I'll do. I'm going to try to do one every week. Every time there's a card. Try to do the main fights if I can. If I can do the whole card, if I know most of the guys, I will. Maybe I'll start focusing more on the undercard talents. I know some of them, but could I break down their styles? Not really. I'd have to really go through and watch them fight. But maybe I will do that. So I can break down like a whole card. So that's it. UFC 161 this Saturday night in the PAG. Other thing too, I'm also on. I just sent my online video edition to Gillette Draft It. I'd really like to be Canada's next sportscaster. Something I dreamed about doing since a kid. I used to play hockey in my basement or my bedroom or something like that, floor hockey, and I'd commentate my entire time playing against myself. As weird as that sounds, just play by play. Something I love to do. I love sports. I love comments. Just get my name out there. That'd be awesome. Help me out here. Anything you guys can do to help would be awesome. And Justin, signing off. Hope you enjoy the fights this Saturday, and who knows, maybe I'll do an analysis video right after the fights. I'll throw it up there. I'm usually up late after because I stay up and I watch the press conference and stuff like that. So if I'm not too drunk, maybe we'll do that. Anyways, enjoy the fights.